Is WNCT 9 on your side, News at 10 on the CW.
Continuing to track bands of heavy showers moving through some of our central and northern counties this evening. We've had nearly a foot of rain fall across parts of Bertie County since Monday. Up in a few minutes, we'll let you know when the rain will finally shut down for good. 9 at 10 on the CW starts now.
All eyes are on North Carolina tonight as chaos and gunfire erupt in the streets of uptown Charlotte. Protest in response to the deadly police shooting of a black man yesterday. Charlotte officials now say one person was shot and killed there earlier tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Watling. Thanks for joining us. We'll have much more on what's happening in Charlotte. But first, the weather impacting the east tonight. Katie Harden standing by in Washington, where she's looking at flooding concerns there. And we also have First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson in our Weather Center with the very latest on your forecast. It is a First Alert weather day, Jerry. What's it like out there now, and what can people expect overnight?
Very little has changed as far as our storm system is concerned. It's a very weak hybrid system composed of a decaying frontal boundary that is more or less remaining in place with some leftover moisture from what used to be Julia feeding into it. The end result has been several days of rain, and even though the storm system has been weak, when you dump rain over the same areas for days on end, that obviously leads to flooding problems. Take a look at some of these updated rainfall totals. Over a foot of rain has fallen over Windsor. This was as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. Hertford up in Perquimans County, just under 10 inches of rain, and then the totals trail off quite a bit as you travel farther south. Greenville has picked up a little over 5 inches. The Kashai River is expected to crest tomorrow morning about 12.8 feet, nearly 5 feet above flood stage, and then gradually subside by the time we head into later Friday evening. Now, things are relatively quiet here in Greenville, so location is everything tonight. Most of the heavier showers still reside out towards Beaufort County and our northeastern county. This is where the heaviest totals have been for the past several days. Up in a few minutes, we'll show you where the storm system is going to be headed once we hit the weekend.
Our team coverage continues tonight as WNCT works to bring you the very latest on flooding across eastern North Carolina. We have First Alert meteorologist Pierce Legion in Bertie County monitoring some of your flooded roads there. And Katie Harden again in Washington with how conditions are changing in Beaufort County. And we begin in Washington as Katie joins us now. Katie, what are things looking like over there?
Well, Ken, the water has come and the water has gone, but Public Works employees here in Washington still keeping a close eye on the dam to make sure that the water stays off roadways here. A relief for a community that says this constant issue makes any blip on the radar cause for concern. Some Washington residents even without a place to stay tonight because of today's flash flooding.
I drove my Jeep through it, and it came up to like half of my leg.
Heavy rain translated to high water in Washington on Wednesday afternoon. Roads were closed in a number of spots because of ponding, but residents say this is nothing new.
Every time it rains, it floods back there, and I feel like they need to start cleaning the ditches, draining the ditches more than what they're doing.
Some people we spoke with say that they had to leave their homes because of water creeping inside. The Red Cross was on hand to help.
We have quite a few families, looks like 8 to 10 families that are flooded out of their homes. So our goal is to make sure that they have a safe place to stay tonight.
Those families were given money for hotel rooms for the night. Volunteers with the Red Cross say that they're still working to make sure that everyone is taken care of.
It's a little challenging because people are coming out at different times.
And with more rain expected in the east over the next couple of days, residents and the Red Cross say they're staying on high alert. You know, Washington, not the only community in eastern North Carolina experiencing that flooding today. WNCT's First Alert meteorologist Pierce Legion joining us now from Bertie County, where many residents seeking shelter to escape those rising waters. Pierce, you've been in Bertie County all day. What are conditions like there?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Katie. Thankfully, the rain has finally stopped, and thank goodness here, because it has been coming down in buckets at times all day long. We're sitting right along Business Highway 13 here in Windsor. You can see behind us that we do have a couple of road closures just behind us here on Highway 13 here, just as you head out to Highway 17. Highway 17 and Highway 13, just two highways here in the Windsor area that are currently closed at the moment. Let's go ahead and take you back to what we were seeing earlier this afternoon. that rain really pelting down hard and heavy, really pretty steady for most of the afternoon. And as Jerry told you a couple minutes ago, we've seen over a foot of rain here in parts of Bertie County since Monday. So again, some incredible rainfall amounts here, and you didn't have to go too far to find areas of flooding out there. That is for sure. We do have a Red Cross shelter set up here in Bertie County at Bertie High School. That'll be set up for as long as folks do need it. Earlier this afternoon, we had about 5 people out that way, and again, they do expect more with the water continuing to rise here, despite the fact that the rain has finally started to stop. We'll take a more detailed look at what's going on here in Bertie County coming up at 11. For now, we'll send it back over to Ken in the studio. All
right, Pierce, thank you so much. Just to the east of Bertie County, this is the scene along Tinchtown Road in Chowan County. The road collapsed as heavy rain eroded the road bed. Chowan County emergency management officials say many roads within Chowan County and the Edenton area were impassable today due to the heavy rainfall. Several counties in northeastern part of our state are seeing changes to their school schedules tomorrow. Currently, all Bertie, Camden, and Perquimans County schools are closed, as well as Lawrence Academy, also in Bertie County. Several schools will run on a delay for Thursday as well. For a full listing, check out our website, WNCT.com. Remember, our First Alert weather team is working around the clock to bring you the very latest information on this system as well as the tropics throughout hurricane season. You can download our First Alert WNCT weather app. It is free in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. A second night of protest turned violent in Charlotte. Police fired tear gas as demonstrators threw objects and tried to damage vehicles and buildings. Let's go live now to Charlotte. What's going on there as hundreds in the streets of uptown Charlotte, protesters trying to make their voices heard. The city of Charlotte confirming 1 civilian is dead after being shot by another civilian during this unrest tonight. CBS's Don Champion has more on what's going on in the Queen City.
Wednesday night, protesters angry over the police shooting death of 43-year-old Keith Scott marched through downtown. And then Charlotte police set off tear gas and flashbangs. Throughout the night, police have upped their posture here in downtown Charlotte. Here you can see officers wearing protective gear and backup arriving on the scene. Near the Omni Hotel, police formed a barricade. Someone threw fireworks. A police helicopter hovered above. Violent protests rocked part of the city after Scott's death. A day later, dueling narratives of what led up to the incident are only adding to tensions. Police maintain that officers in the area looking for another man encountered Scott with a gun. When he didn't respond to commands to drop it, they say that's when Officer Brentley Vinson opened fire.
A weapon was seized, a handgun. I can also tell you we did not find a book.
But family members and this woman who recorded this video moments after the shooting say Scott, a father of 7, was reading in his car when officers approached.
I saw the book fall off his lap.
Police have not yet released body or dash cam video from the shooting. Don Champion, CBS News, Charlotte.
Officer Vinson is on administrative leave. The Justice Department says it is assessing the shooting but has not opened an official investigation. The ACLU of North Carolina is calling on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department to release any body or dash cam footage that would have captured that shooting.
As we've seen with other incidents across the country, video footage of police shootings can really help shed light on what actually happened, especially in these incidents where you have a conflict between what police are saying and what community members are saying. So we believe it's in the public interest.
The ACLU also says the clock is ticking as there is a new North Carolina law that takes effect October 1st. That law would require a court order for a law enforcement agency to release a copy of the footage. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton is one of the faces of Charlotte, and today he did not shy away from talking about the shootings in the Queen City, even as he admitted voicing his opinion puts him in a lose-lose situation.
I'm an African American. You know, I am not happy what or how, you know, the justice has been, you know, kind of dealt with over the years, you know, the state of oppression in our community. But we also, as black people, have to do right by ourselves. You know, we can't be hypocrites.
Newton went on to say that people should be held accountable for their actions, but said he doesn't know enough about the situation to speak in specifics. A federal judge dismissed a challenge to a state law that allows magistrates to refuse to marry gay couples by citing religious beliefs. The judge ruled the lawsuits by the 3 couples lacked legal standing as taxpayers to sue. He also cited they lacked evidence showing that they were harmed directly by the law. The law took effect in June 2015. The couple say they will appeal. Back here in the East, attention was again turned towards sexual assaults, primarily on college campuses. Hundreds of students attended an event tonight at ECU to shed light on that problem. WNCT's Josh Birch was at that discussion. And Josh, what were some of the main takeaways?
Well, Ken, it was a very emotional night, touching on a very sensitive topic. The inspiration behind the event was the Stanford rape case involving Brock Turner, who was convicted but only spent 3 months in jail.
You don't know me, but you've been inside me. And that's why we're here today.
7,000 words. That's how long the victim's letter to her rapist, Brock Turner, was. Each of those words spoken again tonight at ECU.
12 jurors convicted you guilty of 3 felony counts beyond reasonable doubt.
With each word, organizers hope to get across a message about the seriousness of sexual assaults and its prominence on college campuses.
We just think it's a really powerful letter and a great way for people to learn what it's like and to empathize with victims of sexual assault.
Kathleen Bursky, a victims advocate at ECU, was just one of those reading the letter, which in part shows the victim questioning her own self-worth during the months after the rape. For some, the event served as hope.
Sexual assault is something that's a really big problem on college campuses, and the more education you can give to people and the more awareness it has, then the sooner we'll solve this problem.
Before and after the event, students attending were able to sign a petition to end sexual violence. For possible victims of the crimes, some final words.
When people doubt you or dismiss you, I am with you. I fought every day for you, so never stop fighting.
And part of that victim letter addressed Brock Turner's desires to possibly earn money by touring the country to discuss drinking on college campuses. The anonymous victim says drinking and sexual assaults are not synonymous. Josh Birch, 9 on your side.
Josh, thank you. Still to come on 9 on your side, listen up, ice cream lovers, you need to check your refrigerators. Blue Bell has issued yet another ice cream recall, and this one is also for a possible listeria contamination. Details on the flavor you need to look out for.
And unfortunately, more rain may be on the way tonight and at least part of the day tomorrow. We'll talk about a first alert weather day that will continue coming up next.